Hey dear fashion bosses, how are you doing? All right. Always a delight for me to be in your face. Okay. So I've brought yet another one your way. This amazing 3-in-1 Bubu. It's either a 3-in-1 or 4-in-1. You can try rock it in different way. You can rock it as free Bubu, it has a belt to fit it on the inside, as you can see. Okay, it has a balloon puffy sleeve. It has this drape in front, and so on. Okay, it's extremely beautiful. You can see me. I'm rocking it. I'm modeling it for you to see what it looks like. All right. Okay, so I have it in different fabric. This is Adire and this is another one. Okay, see, it is very free. This one, the sleeve for this one is different from the sleeve of the first one. Okay, the first one had a balloon sleeve. This one is a free sleeve, and as you can see, I'm trying to fit in it and out. You see how beautiful it is. Okay. All right, you see, I'm rushing it. Okay, extremely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, guys, if this is what you would like to learn, if you think you would really like to learn how to make this, stay to the end of this video. All right, so I made this one with chiffon. As you can see, the sleeve of this one is also different from the first two. So if you want me to make a video on how I achieve this sleeve and the purple one, please drop a comment on the comment section below. Whilst at it, if this is your first time, do well to subscribe and tap on this bell so you get notification each time we drop new videos. Hey there, fashion besties, welcome to today's class. How are you doing? Trust you're doing so well. Okay, so in today's class we are going to be learning how to make the beautiful Bubu you saw on the footage, right? Aha. It's like 3, 4, 5 in 1 Bubu. You can rush it, you can free it, you can fit in it, you can do so much with it. So it's something I think you should know how to do. Hence, I'm gonna teach you. Okay, so this is the fabric that we're going to be using for the tutorial. It's a beautiful, so I said it's a beautiful direct fabric. We are going to be using it to make this project. So there are actually some specific kind of fabric, that goes well with the style. Fabric such as chiffon. All right. So if you use a chiffon fabric, I'm going to make a tutorial video using a chiffon fabric. Okay. When that is ready, you'll be the first to know. But you can only be the first to know if you tap on the notification bell now. That will enable you get notification each time we drop, or enable you get notification the moment that video is dropped, because I'm also working on that. But I thought I should bring to you using Adire for now. Okay, so this very Adire is not that hard one. The texture is soft. Okay, the texture is very soft. It's not a hard one that look like as though it has starch or it's been, stiffener and all of that has been used for it. That's the reason why I would like to use it. Okay, so you can use chiffon, you can use those raw silk fabric, those silky fabric, that just answer you each time you call upon them. The reason is because you're going to rush it in front. Okay, you really need that drape to fall well and be very fluffy, I would say. Yeah. Okay, so this is the fabric. Without so much ado, because I know some of you are watching. What should they just go straight to the point? We're on the point now. Okay, so I want to teach you how to calculate. So for instance, you're making a ready to wear. Basically, when you're making your regular Bubu, you just use the length of your client's the full length of your client's measurement, or of your measurement. But if you want to make for a ready to sell or a ready to wear, okay, there are a few things you should know. Things like what inches or how many inches you would want to add to the basic measurements that can enable anyone to put it on. Okay, so it is called one one size fits all, right? Okay. So for instance, like what I'm going to use now, the full length is 60 inches, okay? So the full length is 60 inches, okay? So what should you do? Just go ahead to add 7 inches to it. So this will give you 67 inches. So your seam allowance is already, included in this measurement, okay? So we have 67 inches. Now, how did you get to determine how many yardage of fabric you would be requiring for this? Now, for instance, yardage, okay? So the yardage for this is 60 plus 7 is give you 67. So you will do 67 times 2, right? Divided by 36. So whatever you have, whatever you come up with is what the quantity of fabric you are going to be requiring. So you know how we came about 67, right? So this 67 is not cast in stone. This is subject to when you're doing for a ready to wear a one size fits all, right? But if you have your client's specific measurement, or you already have your own specific measurement, for instance, your measurement is 57, okay? Or your measurement is 42. Whatever your measurement is, your full length right now is what we're talking about, or the length of where you want the bubble to get to. It does not necessarily have to be a full length. Some people want it as a 3/4, right? So whatsoever you get, given how you measure it, just go ahead to add 7 inches to it. The 7 inches, helps you not to be in short of your measurement. By the time you drape and all of that, it's going to pull up. Okay, so this 7 inches will make up for the losses of the inches that you missed or you lost when you pulled it up. It just completes everything for you. Okay, so you have your 67 for me right now. You will times it by 2. So this 2 now is, when you want to cut your bubu, you have to fold into 2. Okay, and then before you now fold to make it 4. Okay, so what am I talking about? So let's say, for instance, so this is what I was trying to say. Okay, so you fold into 2 like this. Okay, this is how we often fold for our bubu, right? You fold into 2 like this. When you have this, you now bring it like this, right? You can relate, right? Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So you fold into 2. That is where this 2 comes in play. One for the back and one for the front. That's what it means. That is if you're cutting both of them together. Okay, so you're 67 times 2. Okay, so whatsoever you have now, at 67 times 2 is 67 times 2. This is what we have, 134. So this 134 inches, now some people will say whatever you have is what you should use to fold. No, you need to know how many yard you require in case you want to go to the market to buy. So this 134, you now divide it by 36. 36. So I said you divide by 36. So we've, impute at 36. So this is what we have, 3.72222. So you just approximate it to 4. So it means that you need 4 yards to make this. Do not forget, this result is subject to the length you are working with. You cannot see somebody that the length is 30 and you come and say the person requires 4 yards. It doesn't work that way. Please do your calculation very well. Okay, so having said that, you've been able to ascertain how many yards you need. So now the next thing for us to do is we are going to cut this 67 in 2 places. One for the front, one for the back. Okay, and then we cut them separately. So let me do that and get back to you. Okay. All right, guys, so I folded my bubu into 2, as you can see. Okay, so this is for the back panel, right? So I'm taking my width measurements for my neck, 3 inches. All right, 3 inches. Okay, I folded into two, already explained to you how to do the folding and all. Okay, so I'll come down on this part by 3 inches. Okay, 3 inches, and then I'll connect to the neck width. Okay, I'll connect it with a slant this way. All right, so after doing this, I will come down by 1.5 inches for the neck depth. Don't forget, this is for the back panel. Okay, and then I will connect with my curve ruler, okay, to get my neck curve. So the next thing we are going to do is to measure our armhole, okay, the space for the sleeve, to take our sleeve. So I am doing a 13 inches, okay. So this sleeve is going to have elastic, okay, so that it can form that puffy, balloon sleeve you saw. And then I come in by 4 inches at that point, okay. After coming in by 4 inches, I just fold. It's very long, 67 inches, okay? And then I come to the bottom part this way, right? And then I'm going to measure 16 inches, okay? You can use between 14 and 16. So, but if you don't want it to look a little like a cow bubu, you don't have to measure the 16. You just use the entire fabric. So I'm going to connect from that 16 inches right now to the sleeve line, that part where I came in by 4 inches, okay? That is it basically, guys. And then I will do a curve around here for this. Yes, I just do a curve around here, connecting the sleeve to this line that we just drew. Okay, so we are done drafting the back. So we are going to go ahead right now to cutting it out. So like I said earlier, if you don't want to do a 16 inches, at that down part, okay, so I use the total fabric, for the bubu on this upper part, okay, as the sleeve. I didn't cut out anything from this part, so I just use everything so that my sleeve will be really balloon, and puffy. So I just go ahead to cut, from this part, okay. This is the only part we are taking away from the fabric, okay. You can also choose not to take anything away, like I said earlier. You just go ahead to use the entire fabric. The purple one you saw on the footage, we didn't take anything out of it. We used everything like that, okay. Hope you understand. So we are done drafting the back. So this is the front, okay. We are going to use the back to draft the front. I folded into two, and then on the center front, I am going to measure 1 inch, okay. So this 1 inch that we are going to be taking away from the center front is going to stand, is what we are going to use to create the casing for the ruch, that drapey effect you have in front, okay. So this my roller is almost 1 inch, okay. Let me just say it's 1 inch. So I'm just going to use it to roll straight down instead of using the tape roll and be doing it little by little, so in order for us not to waste time. So I'm done having my 1 inch in front. I said we are using this to create the casing for the rope or the lacing that we are going to use for the ruch. So I bring my back panel and then I place it on the front panel, okay. So I place it on that 1 inch that we just mark out, and I arrange properly, okay. After doing that, okay, I just endeavor to arrange properly and making sure that the back panel sits on that 1 inch. The next thing we are going to do is to measure our neckline for the front. I mark my 3 inches for the neck width, 3 inches, the same thing we have for the back. I pull the back up, and then I'm going to mark the depth for the front. I'm using a 9 inches measurement for the front neckline because it's a V. Okay, if you use between 8 and 9, often very beautiful. And then I use my roller, connect from the neck depth to the neck width, okay. As you can see, with a straight or a slanty line. And then you can also choose to use your curve ruler if you want the neck to look a bit curvy, okay, instead of just the regular V neckline. You can choose whichever one. That's why I am showing you. Okay, and then I will extend it to that one in where the 9 inches ended, and that is all, guys. Okay, this is all for the front panel, and this is all for the bubu. So I just, you see how I cut the 1 inch, and then I continue cutting into the neckline. I actually use that part that has a bit of curve, okay, instead of the straight slanted part. So I chop off for the shoulder slant area. Okay, I just use the back panel as my pattern. Basically, that is all. The difference between the front and the back, guys, is just that 1 inch you have to mark out in front, that you will use as your ruch casing. Okay, the rope or the lace that you are going to use for your casing. Okay, so once you are done cutting, I'm going to come back to the front panel, pull up the back panel, and then I'm going to slant open the front panel, just like you can see me do. Okay, I just created a bit of notch there, and then I'm going to slant it open. Yes, you have to open it, okay? You have to open it, okay? All right, so guys, if you've watched this video to this point and you've not subscribed, please, I beg you and I beseech you, kindly subscribe. Tap on the subscription icon and do what to tap on the bell so you get notification when we drop new video. There is lots and lots for you to learn. So I bring my back panel and I cut the same fabric like a bias, okay, and then I'm going to use it to turn the neckline. Okay, I just cut a straight fabric, but I cut it in bias form. I also use the same fabric to turn or to tape the neckline for the front and for the back this way. Okay, and that is it. So once I was done taping the back neckline and the front neckline, this is what you have. I was done taping. I didn't want to use a normal bias. I used the fabric as my bias. Okay, so this is for the fronts. Okay, I've taped the neckline, and this is what we have. When you're done taping, please do well to iron. Okay, so I place it this way, okay, like the way we cut it out, and then you make sure you arrange it properly, and then you're going to run a stitch, okay, a proper stitch, a tight stitch, not just loose, because you're not going to pull a gathers. So you run a stitch on that 1 inch. Okay, after doing that, you spread it on your table and then you iron it properly. You open the seam, that's 1 inch seam, and then you iron properly. Okay, it is very imperative that you iron. So have you subscribed? Kindly subscribe. Okay, subscribe, tap on that subscription icon and tap on the bell. Okay, so once you are done ironing, you are going to fold your 1 inch one side like this. Okay, so at this point now you are creating your casing. You just fold the 1 inch in, use a 0.25 to fold in, okay, and then you iron it down. Okay, you see what I'm doing? Just fold, because you are going to stitch on it so that it becomes a proper casing. That is where your rope or the lace you are going to use is going to sit on. Okay, so I fold and I iron. I use 0.2 to fold and I iron. I don't want to use a 0.5 so it does not get smaller. I need my pin to be able to go through it with ease. Okay, so once I am done folding this part, I cross over to the other part, I fold and I iron. So after iron in, I will run a straight stitch. Okay, if you don't want to iron or you don't have lighters at a time, you can just fold and then use your pin to hold it down before taking it to your sewing machine to sew. So I am done folding and ironing. I am going to sew it down on the edge or on the tip so that there will be a casing, a space in between where your pin and your rope will go through. So this is it, guys, when I was done sewing. Okay, so right about now, I'm going to join the back and the front panel. I have put it together. I'll sew the shoulders. Okay, I'll sew both shoulders. Okay, so after doing that, we are going to fix the belt for the fitting. So I'll sew the side down, straight down. Okay, and then also sew on this other side to close up the bubu. Okay, so after doing that, I am going to fix or we are going to fix the belt for the fitting, but this is how to go about it. I measure from my shoulder to my waistline. So you're actually using your waistline, and I have 16 inches. So you can choose to fix it either on under your bust or on your waistline. If you fix it under your bust, it is cool. If you fix it on your waistline, it is also cool. So I measure my waistline. For this one, I'm using the waistline. I measure my waistline 16 inches, and then I mark it out with a straight rule. It is very important, okay? And then I am going to divide my waistline into four, okay, into four, and I place 1/4 of the waistline on the part, okay, using that center seam as your guideline, and then place the other 1/4 on the other side. So where we chalk now is where your belt is going to sit on. So this is my belt. I just measure if cut out fabric 5 inches when open. When unfold 2.5, you use a 0.5 to stitch, and then you turn it inside out, and then you iron. So after ironing, you pin it or you place it on that waistline, waist circumference, okay, that we just marked out, and then you stitch. Okay, so the belt can be as long as your entire waist circumference. You are working with half waist right now. Okay, in case you need a measurement, so you sew, and that is for that. Okay, so I have stitched the side. I went ahead to infuse my elastic on my sleeve. I believe that is something you should be able to do. Okay, if you can't fix that, please drop a message on the comment section so that I can do a short video on how to fix elastic on your sleeve. So this is the rope or the lacing that we are going to use to ruch. I just fold a very long rope and I stitch. Okay, you can also use your bias, very long bias. Okay, we can say ×2 of your entire measurement, and then this is the casing that we created, on the front panel. Okay, so I insert my pin on the rope, and then I insert it through the casing. Okay, starting from the bottom, right? I keep pushing, and then it will come out on the upper parts. All right, it's going to come out on this upper parts. Okay, right, and then I pull out. The rope should be ×2 of the entire measurement of the entire length of the gown. So I put the pin on the edge or the tip of the lace, and then of the other end of the lace, and then I insert it into the other casing hole. Okay, remember that we have two casing hole. Do you remember? All right, so I pass the rope through one tip through the first case, the other tip through the second case, and then both ends of the rope will be coming out, on the upper parts of the dress this way. Okay, and then I pull properly. Okay, my rope is extremely long. I actually use like ×3 of it. Okay, so it is very long. At some point I am going to cut out, a part of it, on this done part. Okay, so once you are done, you are going to fold. So you don't fold the hem of this gown until you are done facing your rope or your lacing. So I fold this way. Okay, and then I'll cut out the excess. It's extremely long. Okay, so when I was done cutting out, I will continue folding and stitching just the regular way we fold the hem of our dresses. Okay, all right. So once we are done with that, this is what we have. We are basically done, making this dress. As you can see, the rope is doing wonders. Okay, giving you that ruch and that drape effect. in the front of the dress. Okay, so basically guys, we are done with this dress. You saw what it looks like on the foot edge. Okay, so thanks for staying to the end of this class. Do well to subscribe. This is the dress, the Bubu without fitting or ruching. This is it with ruch and with fitting. Okay, all right, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.